guys, good morning. So I decided to bring back the iced coffee dates that I do in my kitchen, and I tell you about things and I teach you new things, and I'm hoping this will be a regular series again because I did this for years. I mean, if you go back on my YouTube, you can see like old videos from like 2017 and 2018, and I did these for years and years, and honestly just got so busy in the business I didn't have time for this stuff. But I think this is such a good way to share information, keep in touch with you guys, all the things that I like to do. So today I am going to tackle a question/topic that I get again and again from clients, women on Instagram, and it's basically about all this fasted workout stuff. I know you've heard me talk a little bit about intermittent fasting, and actually I'll give you a little backstory on that. So I have heard all the different things about intermittent fasting. Some people love it. They think it's amazing. It helps you lose weight. It helps you manage your blood sugar and brain fog and things like that. There's like a million benefits of intermittent fasting, longevity and whatnot. And then there's the other side of it where it's like, it is horrible for your hormones. It's a hormetic stress. It adds more stress to your body. Don't do it. It's like the worst thing in the world. You're going to die if you do it. You can find anything on the internet, but I'm just trying to be as extreme here as possible. But I've just heard every single side of it, and our clients ask all the time about it. And so I've really spent a good couple months there just doing like deep dives on intermittent fasting, following all the intermittent fasting people out there, books, trainings, webinars, podcasts. It was pretty much like just going all in on this intermittent fasting stuff. And honestly, like, this is not an intermittent fasting video. I just wanted to give you a little bit of background, but I'm still on the fence about it. I think it can be right for some people, and I think for some other people, it's really terrible. It's not a good thing. Like I said, this is not an intermittent fasting video. If you want some more details on it, definitely check out my YouTube videos. I talk about, if you want to try it, how to support your hormones as you are trying intermittent fasting. Because for women who have a cycle, it can be really stressful at certain times of the month, depending on what's going on with your hormones. So check out that video. I mean, it gives you all the details, tells you exactly how to do it. And there's actually a freebie in that video where it's basically like a cheat sheet, because yeah, it can be like a little bit confusing, like what's happening with your cycle, what are you supposed to do then? But there's a cheat sheet, and it also tells you how to work in your workout. So check that out. Again, this is not an intermittent fasting video, so let me get to my point. But I didn't want to pick a side on this one just because we have some clients that do it and they get great results as far as weight loss and feeling better. And then we have other clients that try it out and they're like, I felt terrible, I was hangry, my workout sucked. So I really think it just depends on the person. It really is kind of a gray area. But if you're somebody that has hormones, you want to try it out, I would definitely check out that video. And then there's also a video about do's and don'ts of intermittent fasting, kind of the mistakes that I made when I was trying it out. And I'm at the point now where I think sometimes it will work for me, but mostly it doesn't work for me because I am somebody that really wants to gain muscle. And this is where I'm going to get to the point of this video is, should you do fasted workouts if you want to gain muscle? So that's the point of this workout. I finally got there. I just wanted to give you the background on all the intermittent fasting stuff and fasted workouts and everything. But the short answer is no. Like, if you want to gain muscle, you should not be going into a workout on an empty tank. And I know there's a lot of women that work out super early in the morning, like 5 in the morning, 5:30, things like that. And I get this question all the time, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Like, what do I eat before that workout? And a lot of times, like when you wake up first thing in the morning, you're not hungry. I mean, I get that. I'm not eating like a full-on breakfast at 5 in the morning if I'm working out. So the best thing would be some sort of carbohydrates with a little bit of protein. You can always add some protein in there, but really that's what your body needs before that workout. So I had a rice cake with some jelly this morning. That was just straight carbohydrates. You could have an adrenal cocktail. That would be a perfect situation to have, some orange juice and some coconut water. That's straight carbs. You could have a banana. You could have half of an apple. Things like that. Things that are pretty easy to digest when it comes to the carbohydrates. And then, you can add in some protein too, because obviously like your body's going to need protein, after that workout, muscle recovery, recovery, like all the good things. And a lot of times I think people make that recommendation to have the protein just because if you're not getting protein throughout the day, it's really hard to hit your protein goal by the end of the day. So it's almost like you might as well front load it. So a lot of times I'll just put a scoop of protein powder in my adrenal cocktail, bring that to the gym, have a little bit before, have some maybe during the workout, and then I'll finish it after the workout. And that's a good way to get in some protein and carbohydrates. But again, I'm not getting to the point today, guys. I apologize. So my point, so if you're somebody that wants to gain muscle, I'll give you the little science lesson on as far as like what happens. So our bodies are pretty much, burning some amount of carbs, fat, and protein all day long. But really when you're looking at those macronutrients, protein is kind of in its separate category. It really is a building block. It builds muscles, it builds tissues. It's good for so many things, but it is different than carbs and fat. Carbs and fat are fuel sources and they can kind of be interchangeable in a sense. I mean, our bodies prefer carbohydrates because it's easier to burn them down. And just from like a conceptual visual, I guess, like 1 gram of carbohydrates is 4 calories. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So if you think about what it requires for your body to burn 1 gram of carbs versus 1 gram of fat, it's going to take a lot more energy to burn that fat. And it's not to say that our body like just burns carbs, just burns fat, just burns protein, but it does prefer the carbohydrates. So if you're somebody that wants to build muscle, you want to make sure you have enough carbohydrates, because if your body doesn't have enough carbohydrates, it will go towards muscle to break down the amino acids to give itself fuel as far as glucose goes. So essentially, like not having enough carbohydrates, you could be breaking down muscle. And I see this a lot with women who are under eating. A lot of times they're over exercising, or they're doing kind of like a low carbohydrate diet or like a keto diet or something like that. Yeah, they're doing the strength training, they're doing the workouts, but they're not gaining muscle. And so if you want to gain muscle, like you really need to make sure you have enough calories overall. The protein's important as far as building those muscles. The carbohydrates are really important, and then fat is needed for all sorts of processes in the body as far as cholesterol and hormones and healthy skin and hair and all that stuff. So fat is definitely not a bad thing here, but you need to have enough protein and you definitely need to have enough carbohydrates, because yeah, when your body doesn't have enough carbohydrates, it's going to go after that muscle tissue. I put a reel today about this, but the process is called gluconeogenesis, where getting all fancy here, where the body really does break down those muscles into amino acids. So it has, glucose as far as energy goes. So this is all to say that if you are not gaining muscle and you're really struggling, I would look at your diet and make sure you're consuming enough carbohydrates around your workouts. And again, another recommendation, this could be general, but having some sort of carbohydrates before, because working out on nothing, your body is already in a stressed out state because it has no fuel. And then afterwards, making sure you're getting plenty of carbohydrates and protein. And I typically tell our clients to do a 1-to-2 ratio as far as protein and carbs. So if you're having 30 grams of 30 grams of protein after that workout, get 60 grams of carbohydrates with that. And a lot of times, like the easiest way is to have some orange juice or some chocolate milk or some fruit. I feel like those are kind of like the best ways. But also, this is kind of just a life hack. If you really want like a treat, like a donut or a cookie or something not so good for you, could be a good time to have it right after a workout. Life hack for you. All right, guys, I think that's all I had to tell you. I had some notes and everything here, but just wanted to explain why, if you're having trouble building muscle, it really is all about those carbohydrates. And if you decide to track those grams of carbohydrates, you'll see it's probably a lot more than you've been eating or a lot more than you expected. I mean, even still, I've been working on one thing at a time, because if you followed me for a while, I've been very sick as far as ulcerative colitis, really sick. It was kind of survival mode, and then got into remission, and now I'm focused a little bit more on body composition and, getting healthy and all that. But I've been doing one thing at a time. So I've focused on protein. I'm pretty much focused on fiber right now, but I've been starting to pay attention more to carbohydrates around my workouts and just tracking my food. I only track my food a few days a week. I mean, some weeks it's like once or twice a week, but it's way more carbohydrates than I thought it was. Like I really have to try to get enough carbohydrates every single day. Okay, guys, done rambling. I hope you found this helpful. If you're having trouble building muscle, you need more carbohydrates, probably a little bit more protein. You got to lift heavy, and you got to sleep and manage stress. That's kind of the key. Because also, you know, once you train and you break down those muscles so they can build back stronger, you need sleep and recovery and whatnot. And that's where like the magic happens as far as building muscle. All right, I'm really rambling. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon.